What's up, board game people? We have a ton of news this week. Everything from new releases to production updates to shipping notifications and more. We're going to touch on a little of everything, and as always, if you want more detail, check out the links in the video description. I don't get any money for making my videos from game companies. I make these to help us stay informed on everything going on in the hobby. If I get something wrong or we disagree about something, please let me know in the comments. Teburu, the Bad Karma, and crew all survived Gen Con. They had the battle with Ares on demo at the convention, and many people got a chance to try the game out for the first time. This update covers some of the hardware updates being worked on, including the light rings for the miniature bases, and the board being able to charge up to 5 dice at once. Design of all the additional modes of play is complete. They're now working on balancing and tuning the game. The app is getting close to feature complete, and they've given us an art update for some of the alternative heroes unlocked during the campaign. Okko, Chronicles of the Earth is showing off some of the new player and item tokens this month. The reverse side of the item tokens shows success or failure, and the reverse side of the player tokens helps to identify different characters. They're also previewing 2 more of the scenarios from the core box, including the 7 merchants and infiltration and kidnapping. For Marvel Zombies, production of Wave 1 boxes continues. They've just received samples of the plastic tokens, which they're showing off in this update. All game design is complete, and playtesting on stretch goal characters is going on. They're finishing up the print files, and the game pieces are all being molded at the factory. Things are remaining roughly on schedule. News for the League of Dungeoneers is a bit drab. They were hoping to have a copy of the pre-production box to show off, but as of now, the box is still missing a few pieces. They're waiting on the punch boards for standees to be able to be cut, and the insert is still being worked on. Some of the delays are due to COVID lockdowns that are unavoidable. They'd like to make up the lost time in production or shipping, but as of right now, the project is running around a month behind schedule and should be shipping in January of 2023. We finally have some solid updates that don't come from YouTube for the Tanares Adventures and Tanares RPG projects. For the Adventures board game, miniatures, inserts, and boxes are being produced. The books for the game will be heading to the manufacturer very soon. They're expecting a detailed timeline from the manufacturer soon and will include that in the next update. For the RPG, the details are much the same. The books have not started mass production yet, but the physical items have. They will open the PM again for RPG items and shipping in November. In Q1 2023, they will begin making the books, and in Q2, they plan to deliver. Etherfields English Wave 2 shipping continues. Asia has sent out more than 99% of their parcels. In the EU, the hub is finishing up with the last few non-standard orders and sending them out very soon. The US has started shipping. They're still waiting on the second ship to hit port, now due in on the 27th. Finally, the Canadian port congestion is causing delays, and the ship is still in line to sail to port. Likely it will enter port early September. The launch of Kinfire Chronicles was pulled at the last minute to improve the campaign and make sure everything was flawless. They're now launching on August 30th. We'll be covering this project when it does launch. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim adventure game is getting ready to be shipped. If you have a pledge for this, you'll need to head over to Gamefound and finalize your shipping payment there. They will be giving everyone until September the 23rd to complete payment for shipping. Make sure you get it done by then. The pledge manager for Lawyer Up Season 2 is now officially live. You can run over there and finalize your pledge when you get a chance. There's no word on a closing date yet, so I'll let you know when I hear it. If you need any help, since they've shifted pledges around, please be sure and ask them for some. The team has been hard at work on Ancient Blood, the Order of Vampire Hunters, and now that the soundtrack campaign is wrapped, we're getting development news. The writers provided the first draft for the core box story, and they'll be iterating on that before beginning the expansions. The art team has been pumping out some awesome illustrations, and they've been kind enough to share them with us for this update. The pledge manager is almost ready for the project, and they're hoping it will go live sometime this week. The pledge manager is only for Gamefound backers. The PM for the soundtrack backers will open in a few weeks. They're exploring the possibility of merging the 2 campaigns, but won't know for a little bit how they will proceed. The latest Black Rose Wars Rebirth update has gone to the birds, the Phoenixes to be exact. This update covers the Seal of Fire expansion, showing off the renders of the miniatures and detailing the Magister, whose talent for fiery destruction has earned him quite a reputation. Check out the full details on the spells, the Phoenix of Rebirth evocation, and details on the adorable Phoenix pups, Rebirth, Cinder, and Pyre. We're headed for a full project status update in September. Hopefully they're close to delivering something on one of their army of projects. Silvercoin Age of Monster Hunters funded in 48 minutes, unlocked 20 stretch goals, and has now officially completed their campaign. They ended the campaign with a big thank you and by revealing the Moon Gift, which turned out to be Hussar, a new playable character. By the end, we unlocked the fan-favorite Necromancer as well. They're actively working on the community-chosen character, the Spellblade with Design A. They'll be showing off more in future updates. The Pledge Manager for Silvercoin will be opening in a few weeks and will be done through Backerkit. They'll also be opening up late pledges in the coming days, in case you missed out. The production phase of Frosthaven is nearing the end. Production is scheduled to be complete on August 31st, and assembly of all the components into boxes will begin immediately. The latest update from Isaac is very thorough and includes all kinds of behind-the-scenes details, such as an exact plan for shipping, add-ons, and the knowns and unknowns of the process that might hold things up. The hope is to have Frosthaven in the hands of backers or possibly under your trees for Christmas. The newest chapter of Dragonlance is being released for Dungeons & Dragons and is titled Shadow of the Dragon Queen, and tells the tale of the War of the Lance where Tiamat, or Takasis, which she's known in Kryn, is marching her armies trying to take over the world. Within this release, there's a board game that can be worked in as part of a D&D campaign or played standalone. We're starting to see some of the first concept art for the game, The Warriors of Kryn, that will take players through a variety of large-scale warfare scenarios. Hopefully what's shown on the back of the box is early concept work, because the game itself, which I was quite excited for, seems a bit drab. If nothing else, perhaps we'll get some more Dragonlance novels out of all of this. The Pledge Manager for the Great Wall reprint is open again, and for the last time. If you have a pledge for this one, please make sure you've completed your shipping payments and finalized everything by August 29th. Your pledge must be in the placed and paid status to be complete. We have a quick update for the Nemesis Lockdown language versions. In the European hub, the first ship will hit port on the 24th, and the next on the 31st, and the final on September 7th. For Canada, the ship should be entering port on the 22nd, and they will begin transporting games to the shipping hub and get them out to you. We have an update on the shipping status of English Wave 1 for ISS Vanguard. The ship for the EU hub is scheduled in port on the 9th of September. For the US, the ship hits on the 18th, the UK on the 19th, Australia around the 8th, and Canada on the 22nd of August. As for the VFI hub, it's expected around the first half of September. This update also contains the link to the completed and final ISS Vanguard rulebook. You can find that update linked in the video description. A new newsletter from OOMM Games has arrived with updates spread across all of their projects. They provided us with a status graphic covering Stars of Akarios, which is now complete, Mythwind, Stonesaga, and the second edition of Stars of Akarios, which is now in a design phase, and they even revealed a new codenamed Project Harmony. Nothing more is known about Harmony just yet. Mythwind testing is underway on the TTS, and you can join in if you'd like. The PM will remain open until they announce a closing date. There is a painting contest for Stars of Akarios underway with many fabulous entries. Alpha playtesting has begun for Stonesaga, and game design and artwork are now complete. As always, there's plenty of new Warhammer releases this week spread across several different flavors of the game. For Age of Sigmar, we're seeing a new giant starter box in the form of Arcane Cataclysm, containing starter armies for the Lumineth Realm Lords and the Disciples of Zenich, the Deathmaster from the Skavens, the Lady of Vines from the Sylvaneth, and Kronspine Incarnate of Gur, the Cleansing Aqualith, and the Megadroth Remains. For Warcry, we're getting the Centurion Marshal, Chaos Legionnaires, the Warcry Compendium, Dreki Flint, and Kato Akazar. From the Black Library, we're getting Arcanauts Oath and the Hollow King. A newsletter from LMS has arrived with talk of yet another project on the horizon. Runar, a new competitive board game for 1 to 4 players with comic-style minis, will be launching on Kickstarter in a few months. While the idea of the game sounds fun, I really wish they'd reconsider launching anything new until they deliver on the extreme backlog of their outstanding projects. I simply just don't think I can hand them any more money in good faith, knowing how many projects they have that are in the wind. They're also opening up late pledges for Breach in case you missed it and wanted in on that one. Escape from Stalingrad Z is getting closer to production ready. Writing is pretty well wrapped and waiting on final proofreading. When proofing is done, translation will begin. Bonus markers and counters are receiving artwork and getting ready to be placed on punch boards. The project seems to be flying right along. They shared a prototype character board with us as a parting gift. The Robomon campaign is launched over on Gamefound today. It looks like the core box is going for $79, with the core and expansion going for around $99. There's a lot of game here with over 300 pages of adventure book and 70 pages in the map book, but I'll be honest, I would be more comfortable with a $50 price tag on this one. A date for Kingdom Come Deliverance has finally been set. The campaign will be launching on September 12th on Gamefound. This week, their update is focusing on the immersive experience and trying to bring the realism of the game to the table. Preview copies have been sent out, so we should be hearing from the usual list of game shellers soon. Spoiler alert, half won't read the rulebook and they won't play for more than an hour, and I'm sure they'll think the game is great. Hopefully some reliable sources were sent preview copies as well. Company of Heroes is sending out short surveys asking which alternate factions you're planning on picking up in the Pledge Manager to help get an idea of faction counts for production. This update, they're also showing off the Captured Panther designs that are a work in progress. We should be hearing more from them soon on the final Pledge Manager form. The campaign for Return to Dark Tower reprint and expansion is wrapped. Late pledges are now open and the Pledge Manager will be opening soon. It will only remain open for a few weeks because they're on a tight production schedule. I'll let you know when it goes live. New retail releases for this week include Lord of the Rings, the LCG's Angmar Awakens campaign expansion, and Star Wars Legion's Swoop Bike Riders. Fantasy Flight has posted the Heroic Variety article detailing some community-made Marvel Champions deck lists for you to check out. They're also giving us a sneak peek at the Wolverine pack I spoke about last week. This pack includes Wolverine and Logan, of course, but you also get Psylocke and Lady Deathstrike. Check out the article linked in the video description for the full details. The Zerywia reprint Pledge Manager is closed. They've mostly completed the relocation of their warehouse and studio, and shipment of their first Kickstarter rewards has resumed. Due to shipping delays and moving of the warehouse, they're extending the late pledge period until the end of October. They'll be back to us soon with an update on production and new previews of Zerywia Quest components. The Witcher Old World is back with updates on the changes to the miniature shading and the playmat, and the big box storage. The miniatures are looking worlds better, and I'm thinking the new results will make several backers much more happy. The playmat has been slightly tweaked to allow extra space for the cards, and the final version of the big box storage now looks much more cohesive, with design elements stretching from the top to the bottom of the box. Well, that's all the news I have for you today. More is pouring in every day, so we'll be back next week with another news video. I'll have a new campaign guide up on Tuesday or Wednesday, and something new later this week. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to help our channel grow and reach even more gamers. Thanks to everyone watching, and play something fun tonight.